Agency has helped individuals, families, and even small business employees lower their health insurance costs while improving coverage with no copays, no 80/20 co-insurance, and no deductibles unless hospitalized overnight. Call KHS and Associates 502-386-1128.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
We're your home for live sports. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida. Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get past the people, get past the hit me.
And hit me, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Big John, do you have a good weekend?
It rained on Sunday. Of course, the beautiful thing about rain is it gets you out of doing all those honey-do list kind of things outdoors. So it was kind of, Saturday was disappointing because I waited for it to rain, waited, and it never did. So tell you what we did do, though. We went out cruising around looking for the Northwest Florida ESPN 104.3 electronic billboards.
Did you find it?
And no. I found the one on 390. 390, there's the one by where the old airport was.
Yeah.
It's big, beautiful. I mean, great location for that one on 390. But if you're out cruising around and you find the other 3 or 4, or however many that there are, you really can't miss them. Great big red billboards. Take a picture of it, and then you're going to get a chance to win just a plethora of really cool stuff. 11 gift cards for eating and drinking and shopping all over Bay County, plus stylish T-shirts, fuzzy fleece, and much, much more. Here's what you do. You take a picture of one of the big billboards, you post it on Facebook, and put a tag on it that says ESPN Northwest Florida. You tag your photograph of the billboard with that, and then we'll select a winner at random with a great big jumbo prize stuffed with all kinds of really cool stuff. You can check out some of the goodies on ESPNPC.com. If you go to that little website there, you can find out all the really cool stuff that we have on there. Actually, I've seen the picture of the stuff, and it's worth taking a few pictures and posting it. That's
Absolutely.
For sure.
We always give away great stuff.
Yeah, we do. And the Phillies and Atlanta Braves, 6 o'clock, right here. Don't miss it.
All right, on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Chad Mitchell, every Monday, the Doc's in the house. How you doing this morning?
I'm getting there, Coach.
You looking good, brother. Looking good.
Had to fight off the yellow flies, but I'm here.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Did you do anything special?
Went to my nephew's wedding up in Columbus, Georgia.
Special,
yeah, it was special for him.
Did you have a good time? Was it a wild wedding or just okay wedding?
No, it was a great wedding, actually.
Yeah. Good music, good food.
Everything about it was good.
Did you get up and speak? Did you give us?
I did.
Good job.
It was my nephew, and I sort of substituted for his dad in a way at the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
And, this is a young man who really shouldn't have been born. He was a miscarriage, they thought.
Wow.
And it's a long story. I won't get into it. But then at 15, got hit by a car as he was riding a horse in rural Alabama, and lived.
This guy's tough.
He is.
He's got so special. He's got a special person.
He's got one of them little rings above his head.
It's a God story.
Yeah.
And that's the way I'll put it. I mean, two absolute miracles. And I told everybody at the dinner, you know, Jesus did his first miracle at a wedding, right? His first public miracle at a wedding. And I said, no different tomorrow. I mean, this guy's not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the speech I gave.
He's got something special planned for him.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I hope he stays on track. He's on
telling
track,
what it
but I
could
hope
be.
he stays
You know
on
what?
track.
It's weird. It's
Is he a young
telling.
guy?
He is. He's 21.
It might be his son. It might be his grandson. It might be him. But something great's going to happen.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, I'm glad you had a good weekend. Anybody want to ask me what I did? I've asked both of you politely. How was y'all? Y'all ready to go on something else?
I asked him when he come in this morning and he grunted at me, so I'm not going there.
Does he ever have a bad weekend? I mean, he goes to all these restaurants
great
and
weekend,
you know.
baby. You know what I did Friday? You've got to go there. American Charlie over in Edgewater Shopping Center, and they kept telling me about come try the catfish. You know, I like catfish. Tommy Santamont and I went, and I saw Mike, I saw Dave. I had the fried catfish. Now Tommy, with this health issue, just getting away from everything fried. I was trying, but I couldn't help it. I saw it and said, no, I'll take it fried. So I had fried catfish. It was unbelievable. And Tommy got the big salad, and it's really good. The food there is really good, but had a really good time there. And then we went to the 3 o'clock, and we got there really early to Pier Park, went and watched the movie Downton Abbey. And I was shocked. I was like, man, look at all the cars behind the theater. So I didn't think anybody's going to movies anymore. And we talked, you know how I like talking to people, and she goes, oh my God. I guess the first movie Downton Abbey was like 11. It was like packed out. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there was one seat available, and that was right beside me. I couldn't believe the amount of people there. It was a long movie. It was good, really. If you watched the series, even if you didn't watch the series and went and saw the movie, I think you'd like it. But after seeing it all, it was good.
The first promo for I thought you were kidding when you said there was a new Elvis movie.
Oh no!
All this time you've been talking about, I thought
I can't wait.
He's such a joker. But I saw the television, the commercial for the movie, and I was like, oh my God!
You didn't know I started it?
Chad's backing a financial backer.
They ended up on the cutting room floor there in the promo, but.
Yeah, Chad has actually helped financially support that show. They interviewed
deep again.
Listen, they interviewed his granddaughter, Elvis's granddaughter. They all went to the movie. They got to see it early, and they all cried. And they were asking her, like, what was it like for you to watch? She goes, well, that's our family. I mean, that's my grandfather. Of course, she never met him, but she was like, you know, she took her a long time to get to the point. Like, yeah, I loved it, but a lot of emotional stuff, to see what he went through, how their lives changed. It was kind of blowing. What
it was happy and sad, and happy and sad, and happy and sad.
Because remember, Elvis, the women loved Elvis. He was he got around a little bit.
I heard he loved them back.
That's a good old American boy.
And now we'll take a commercial break.
Yeah. Anyway, but it was really good. They show the previews of that at Downton Abbey too. That's going to be a really good movie. Top Gun's coming out. Remember that? That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Remember? I can't remember. Back in the 80s, wasn't it? The first movie?
It was the 80s.
Yeah, but it looks pretty good.
I understand Tom Cruise went to England and had to sit in with the Queen or somebody up there in the Parliament, and they blew like they do for an opening of a football game or something. They had a flyby with their Air Force and parades and all kinds of stuff. And Tom Cruise, of course, was just sucking all this up, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, come on, it's a movie.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's no sense in spending $1 million for a flyby,
right?
You know, and a parade, and you know, it goes on and on and on. And I was like, oh, come on. I'm wanting to see it. It opens on the 27th, coming to a theater
near
you.
We baby him when he walks in here. All the things we have to do for him.
Yeah, but he's worth it, Tom.
But he's
just not.
Yo, get my boots out.
Shovel in the closet right behind you.
And the shovel, yeah.
I wanted to add, after the, you know what Julius said? This is what we did that Friday. Seriously now. We went for lunch, American Charlie, unbelievable.
Yum, yum.
Went to the movie at 3. It got over. I don't know what time it got over. But then when we went down there, we met our son, Jared Michael Hale. We met him at El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the Navy base. We didn't leave there at about 8:30. You know, we sit and talk today. David works there, one of the part owners.
And how many cocktails did Coach
Oh,
have?
God,
Huh?
too many. They had there's happy hour, just like
Started right when you got there.
4 to 7. But the food was really good. Saw a lot of people there that we know. If you haven't been there, you'll like that. We had a really good time. It was a great weekend. Now Saturday we got up early, and I thought about you too because I was watching those little kids play soccer, and I was saying, you know what? If they'd have been older and those muscles more tight and stuff, they'd have had a problem because they're really flexible and they don't get as hurt as easy.
They don't.
Yeah, it's weird.
They fall down, they
bounce.
bounce.
Yeah, the legs bounce all crooked ways, and they get up. I'm like, oh, God, I thought they got hurt. But anyway, Leighton played their last game. Ryan Mulvey's a coach. He does a wonderful job coaching, too. But it was a really good game. They got better every single week. Enjoyed watching that. It was hot and humid. But Lorelei's game was early in the morning, and she had a hard time getting her on the field. We could put her out there. She'd follow her mama off the field. Put her out there. It was back and forth, back and forth. It was funny. She didn't like that soccer as much. But speaking of all these athletic events, I mean, you've been taking care of these. And we had spring football.
Which I unfortunately missed for the wedding.
But
yeah.
They did it a different way. I'm old fashioned. I like to watch them playing like a game. They did it like a practice setting, in which they got a lot of good reps. I think they got a lot of good work out of it, which is the main thing.
Right, that's what you want in the spring anyway.
Yeah, but I would rather watch them play a game. That's just me. But
are they opposing teams or?
Yeah, they had three teams. They had one with Arnold. They didn't even play one. North Bay Haven didn't play in one. I'll be honest with you. If I was still coaching, I wouldn't play in one now.
Yeah,
you do make some money at the end of spring.
Yeah, but you're worried about injuries.
Yeah. I'm too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm too lazy. Worried about injuries and really lazy. I think that's the main thing. But Mosley played a game in the spring. I think they won too. But speaking of all that, did you have somebody covering them? Did you have?
Yes, we
did.
There were. Yeah, I believe it was Mike Noble and Ryan Cotton from my group, Southern Orthopedics.
Yeah.
Which
is my doctor, Noble.
Dr. Noble. Yeah.
He's a good man.
Mm-hmm.
I think North Carolina.
Yeah, he went to North Carolina.
North Carolina, that's right. Not Duke,
for
not
undergraduate, he went to North Carolina.
And his daughters are highly intelligent. Of course, they know where to go to school. Roll Tide, baby. Both those girls are there. And then we got other people that send their dang kids to Central Florida. I mean, how can you feel good about yourself when you sent her to Central Florida?
She had a choice.
Right, okay.
She
did.
Right.
Well, that's okay.
She chose not to apply at Alabama. She applied at Auburn and got in.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, I'll send you there. You know, it's close. I had family there. And she actually chose UCF.
Isn't it actually closer to Auburn than Central Florida?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, you know, thinking back, you know, you have to do what's good for the child, the kid. I think that was the best thing for her. Put her in a big city that she hadn't been in, make her drive around, make her have to get her away from home.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, she grew up a lot. Now, not every kid can do that. I get it. And, you know, I think, you know, she was a touch naive, like, you know, we all are right at that age. But watching her grow.
Proud daddy right here, buddy.
Yeah, and see, you know, and so now, I mean, she's in Fort Lauderdale.
She doing
with her husband there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She got married already?
Yeah, she got married in October.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Y'all did get married.
Well, she graduated 2020.
My company, I didn't get picked to sing in this particular wedding. I don't understand that. I just now find out. Now I know what they were whispering out behind my back.
I thought that was you standing behind the hedges at the golf course.
Yeah. Speaking of golf course, anyway, let's talk about some of our great people. Dr. Chad Mitchell was with us this morning. Chad, again, taking care of athletes now for 22 years on Bay County sidelines. But he doesn't see this great athletes. He sees everybody. If you have any type of injury, call Chad. What's the best way to make an appointment?
Call Southern Orthopedic Specialists at 850-785-4344. You can also look me up at www.chadmitchellmd.com.
Also, don't forget about another great man, Chuck Tucker. We all know his father was the principal at Mosley. The whole family's incredible people. South Oak Title and Closing, they run a great company over there, and all the big-time realtors use them. You demand, if you're going to closing, demand, I want Chuck Tucker. I've got to have South Oak Title and Closing. Hey, it's your money. No surprises. They're number one, no doubt about that. Hey, where did I have lunch yesterday? Can you guess? J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. We spent a lot of money eating out.
I was thinking newbies.
He makes me
No,
hungry.
no. I didn't go to Newbies this weekend. I didn't make it there. But I'm telling you what, Jay Michaels, I had the grilled chicken sandwich, which is outstanding, and a big salad. And you're right, Chad. Julie should probably cook more. I think I have been abused. I think I am mistreated.
Don't you get me in trouble with her.
Get out, Jay Michaels. Have a wonderful time. Also, Stevenson Air Conditioning. It was too hot in here this morning. I got that thing rolling in pretty cool. It feels good now.
It does feel good, and it was hot and sticky in here.
It's very humid today. Really humid today.
Not anymore.
All you need is Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll take care of your problems in no time. They're number one. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN. We got Dr. Chad Mitchell. Big news when we get back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Chris is up next in Montgomery. Hello, Chris.
My dad put me on you, before you even came on television. And, I used to joke about you, and I was like, why are you listening to this guy? And then I started listening, and I was like, wow, I'm the dumb guy.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays 6 to 10 on 102.1 and 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Sunday morning. I'm forecasting spotty showers and thunderstorms today and tonight. A mix of sun and clouds during the day, partly to mostly cloudy tonight. 85 for the high, low 70s for the low. South wind 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf is 80 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
At Slim Chickens, craft means something. Craft means bacon. And oh, so crispy. Kraft means a good cayenne kick. And all-natural buttermilk marinated, made fresh, perfectly fried chicken. All served on toasted brioche buns. At Slim Chickens, craft means quality. And for a limited time, try our new Memphis-style barbecue chicken sandwich. Try Slim's Craft sandwiches today. Slim Chickens.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Chad Mitchell with us this morning. Chad, I got to get your input on this. Steve Spurrier, hey, he chooses sides in this Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban drama. Saban, Texas A&M, buying players, many of the top recruits, the best class in college football history. Saban's, went after Jimbo. Not only Jimbo, he mentioned Jimbo, Dion, and the Miami big booster down there. And, how did Fisher take it? He went kind of bonkers a little bit. I'm done. I'm not taking this phone call. I'm done with him.
That's Fisher.
Yeah. Spurrier, though. Let's look at Spurrier. Now, he's a former head football coach at Duke. He won a championship there, which is unbelievable. I don't think anybody's ever won one there but him. Then he won at Florida. He won at South Carolina. He changed the SEC. He is as good as a coach there's ever been, in my opinion. He goes, I don't know why. You know how Coach Spurrier is. I love him. I don't know why Coach Fisher got upset. Did Saban say anything that was not true? I don't think Saban told any lies. I don't know why I don't know what he's mad about. Fisher beat him last year, didn't he?
This is hilarious.
I mean, That's typical. That's typical Coach Spurrier. I love it.
Oh, that's
now
funny.
you were talking about Steve Spurrier, man. Changed the SEC. Spurrier went 122. Listen to this. This is what he did at Florida. 122 wins. You mean he lost? 27.
He's the man.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Wins a national championship. Wins all kind of SEC championships. Now this is at South Carolina where they could never win. When he took over, Lou Holtz got it rolling a little bit. Lou Holtz also won 0-11 there. Spurrier won 86 games, lost 49 in 11 years at South Carolina.
That's pretty good for South Carolina.
Oh my God! And now remember this: Spurrier won the first ever, the Nick Saban Legacy Award, honor a head coach who has a long-lasting impact on the game and did it the right way. Of course, he won it the first year. Him and Eddie Robinson won the Nick Saban Award. But all right, let's break it down. If Jimbo did it, and he really, like he said, if they did, he didn't know anything about it. If all those kids did get an NIL deal, so what? This is legal. It's
Texas,
legal. It doesn't even matter.
Texas,
it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
All right. They made these comments about Saban. Saban said he's never bought a player. Now they're saying everybody's coming after him about that. You teams to tell me that as long as he's been a head coach at Michigan State, LSU, Alabama, he's never bought a player. I will say yes. He's told the truth. He's never bought a player. He said he never bought a player. Now, did he say Chad Mitchell, Southern Orthopedics, or not just saying, or a booster from LSU has never bought a player? A booster from Michigan State ever bought a player? Probably so. But did Nick Saban actually ever buy? He did not.
Did he ask Steve Spurrier if he ever bought a player?
Let me tell you something. Steve Spurrier, you can say I'm crazy. Steve Spurrier would not break a rule. Yeah. I've had kids, when he first went to Florida, I had a parade All-American. I mean, this guy was unbelievable. Commits to Florida, signs, and Spurrier spoke at our banquet the first year, and signs with FSU. And everybody's like, whoa. His daddy worked for Ben Hale Griffin. I mean, stuff like this doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
Then we go to Cape Coral and actually help call over there. And after he called and taught the principal, all of a sudden I got the job at Cape Coral. But we go over there, and I coached an all-star game, several there, and we had great players. Javon Kerr, the freak, that played North Fort Myers, the running back at Mariner, Ernest Graham. I loved Ernest. I knew Ernest when he was little. And, well, I watched him and watched other teams, what they did and how they recruited and what he did. He didn't. Florida with Steve Spurrier did not break any rules.
Can I tell my story? Because I have one.
Now, this is before Spurrier?
No, this is Spurrier.
Now,
so I was okay. It's 99.
Yeah.
It's the 99 season, and so I'm covering a team who goes on to win a national championship in Louisiana. I'm in Shreveport. It's Evangel Christian Academy, and the quarterback is Brock Berlin.
I remember that name.
Right. He ultimately started at Miami after he left Florida, but he was recruited by Florida and went to Florida the first, I think, 2 years. One of the things that I heard Brock say about it, what he liked about it. So Steve Spurrier's dad was a pastor.
Yeah, up in Tennessee.
And he had like full reign of the team. He could walk anywhere, talk to any player, and the players absolutely loved that guy. His dad.
Yeah.
And they love Steve too, but they
That's
really
Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
This is at Florida. And so, here's Steve. He's got his dad, who's this spiritual leader, not only in the community, but nationally, going around meeting players with him. And he was a key component to recruiting kids. He really was.
Wow.
And okay, that's not money, right? But parents knew, oh man, Steve Spurrier's dad's a pastor, and he's sort of walking around the team with him.
Yeah.
I don't think he got paid by the team. I don't know that for sure, but anyway, yeah. And so, you start kind of seeing some things about Steve Spurrier and his family and all that the media doesn't really portray.
Right.
That behind the scenes, like you said, he was a really good guy. Now, don't get me wrong. I love to see him throw that visor down when he was playing Alabama.
Oh my
But no, the things I heard about Steve Spurrier, he visited Shreveport a couple of times when I was there because of Brock. But
I wanted to ask you, what did you think about? And I understand Jimbo being upset because you bust your butt in recruiting. Now they did. I don't care if they did an NIL deal with all those players or not. Those coaches still busted their butt out recruiting, making relationships with the players and their families, like all the other coaches did. And if it's legal to get an NIL deal, hey, you know what? Texas A&M, you guys did an unbelievable job. No problem. Now, all Nick was doing, the bottom line, all he's basically was saying, hey, look, boosters, it was the wealthiest people in the state. We needed to open up the pocketbooks, man. We just got beat by A&M in recruiting. Yeah. We were number 2. They were number 1. They had everybody got a deal. Dion, he didn't say Dion's name, but Jackson State got the great player, $1 million deal.
I didn't hear him really accuse them of any wrongdoing.
Yeah, and then you saw where he went after Miami's basketball too. He went after there. Well, they all made their. Dion said, "We're going to do this publicly." Dion said Dion's smart. He said, I'm a critical thinker, and he really is. He sat there and thought about it. He goes, look, he's using me and Fisher to get money out of his booster club. That's exactly what he's trying to get more money to open up pocketbooks, go make better deals, because he lost some players that he wanted. He says, but you come after me in public, don't call and apologize in private. Yeah. We're going to have a debate publicly. Let's open some people that can open it up to the media and go over it. So I kind of like the way Dion handled that. Which Saban will never do that. Yeah. But anyway. And then you hear about I forgot the guy's name down in Miami. He is a billionaire. Big money. He went after Saban. He said Saban act like a little kid, a little child, didn't get his way, just on and on, said some nasty things also in the Miami Herald. Kind of like Jimbo. He took the Jimbo Fisher route. And I had it written down somewhere. If I find here it is. All right. Miami's booster sounds off on Saban. He felt like he was a little teenager whining. You can read it on the Miami Herald. It was Saban throwing everybody under the bus. He was upset when things don't go his way. He said this about it: very poor display of judgment and character. This was from that John. What was his last name? Ritz. I can't. Know. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Some big time Miami booster. Yeah. So he made Dion mad. He made the billionaire mad, and he made Jimbo Fisher mad. But my question to you
is it that hard to make those people mad?
Well, let's look at Saban. Don't you think I kind of agree. I don't think he should have said what he said.
He probably shouldn't have mentioned names. I think he could have said it and everybody knew who he was talking about.
Leave A&M's name off it.
But
now he did not mention anybody's name. Yeah, and he said I didn't say anything to criticize any individual or anything like that.
Right.
And if you really go back and see what he said, like Spurs said, he didn't lie about any of it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's a bunch of emotion and drama.
And it's how it's interpreted by other people.
I mean, it is what it is. His whole point is. And I'm going to sum up that YouTube video that's out there that even before this was talking about all the things that Saban has complained about college football, that they're allowed to go on, that there needs to be a change, and they don't change it, and the next year he absolutely exploits it. Yeah. And that's what's going on. He's giving everybody a heads up.
Open the pocketbooks up.
All right, if this is the way it's going to be,
here it comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he did the same thing with the hurry-up offense that everybody was complaining about. Gus Malzahn's running that hurry-up offense. And then what did we do? We mastered the hurry-up offense, right? I mean, and the guy on YouTube does a great job of, all the things that Saban complained about and then mastered the next year or two, and basically he's saying, hey, he's giving you a warning. It's coming.
All right, let me ask you this. I thought Dion handled it. He did not attack Saban.
No, I like the way Dion.
He said, "I still love him. Yeah, I still love him." I think Dion handled it perfectly.
Sure, that's
the Miami booster. I don't like some of the things he made, statements he made, even though he's upset with Nick. But let's look at Jimbo. Did Jimbo handle it the right way? If you're an Texas A&M Aggie, he defended those 17-year-old players, and he never said one word about. He didn't throw any 17-year-old kid under the bus. Jimbo put that in there. That's he coached people up to get on his side with that, which that's a smart move, I would guess. But if you're an Aggie fan, you don't want anybody bad-mouthing what you're doing and what's going on over there. So those people should probably be happy. But when we get back, let's get more into this and see if he said some things he probably shouldn't have said. And we'll say, why did he say these things? Remember that time that one summer I worked for you? Okay. All right. I remember that. I still hold that deeply inside. All right. We'll be right back. Let's talk about some of our I got time to do anything?
Sure. Go ahead.
Let's talk about some of our great people. We just talked about Chad. You know how to get in touch with him. Again, I had a wonderful meal every Friday. I think they're going to do this every Friday. The catfish, fried catfish, American Charlie's. Go by. They have a special every day. Go by there. It's incredible. Try it out, guys. You'll love it. First responders, medical Chad, 10%, doctors, nurses, you name it, 10% discount I think it's 10. It might be more than that. Anyways, it's discount every day there for first responders, police, all those great guys. Go try it out. The food's incredible there. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, the newest and best Mexican restaurant in Panama City Beach. Go try it across from the Navy base. You will love it. Happy hour 4 to 7. Don't forget about Bay Point Golf. If you love golf, there's only one place, and we all know that. If you're going to play golf, you're going to Bay Point. There's no doubt about that. Ryan Movey and that group down there, they do an incredible job. We'll be right back. Jimbo Fisher, I know how he felt when you mistreated when you work for somebody. That statement Chad said about me still stings. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Braves country.
This is unbelievable.
Your Atlanta Braves kick off a 4-game series at Truist Park versus the Phillies tonight. Coverage starts at 6 right after the afternoon underdogs. First pitch at 6:20. On your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. It's 102.1 and 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir.
Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game?
Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won.
It's still the first quarter.
I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Not after spicy or food
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is how we do it.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. But seriously, Chad, we're talking about Jimbo's response. They called a news conference 10 o'clock that morning. The SI introduced him and wants to respond to the statements been made about Texas A&M recruitment. And I think he hurt himself in the national light when he attacked Saban and called names and stuff like that. But I really believe they used to coach together at LSU when he was OC there back 2000, the time he was there. And he even mentioned during the interview, said, I had an opportunity to go back and work for him. I wouldn't. I worked for Bobby Bowden. Bobby Bowden does it the right way. I worked for Nick Saban, and I wouldn't go back. I won't go back. I won't take his phone call. Call him names going on. And then go back and check God's record. Go back and see where God came from and see, check the people that work for him. They'll tell you what he's done. Yeah. Would you have?
Well, first off, I have a buddy who's been around Jimbo Fisher and, doesn't like him, doesn't care for him. And is a person that really gives everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But just when he was around him when he was a coach at FSU, and just how can I say it without really tearing him down? I don't want to do that, but my buddy just didn't have a lot of good words for him. And there's a lot of FSU fans, and I knew a parent of one of the kids at FSU. That really have a bad taste in their mouth about, how he handled FSU that last year or so and then left. And, so, maybe Jimbo's got some problems. I know he went through a divorce, but, I just think about how he could have answered the question.
Yeah.
And if I were Jimbo Fisher, I would have said, what? Is he worried I'm going to beat him again this year? That's what I would have said. And I'd have left it at that. And my damn fan base,
that would have been perfect. Yeah.
My fan base would have just been laughing and on fire about it, and you don't have to say anything else. And just laugh. And then when you see Nick, you shake hands, y'all laugh about it, you move on. It's kind of what Dion was trying to do there.
Yeah.
Dion's like, we say some, Dion says some things.
Right. Right.
I mean, come on,
I got I like Dion.
Yeah.
All right. You said that perfectly. All he had to do was go like, "Hey,
just cut up about it."
Is he upset because we beat him last year?
Right?
I mean, he could have dig him.
Exactly.
Like, I'm telling you who would have handled this perfect. If they had said something about Spurrier like that, he always had a quick way coming back saying, and kind of classy, but the way to kind of get a jab in there.
It's why people have such awe and respect for Spurrier.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's like I'm having a hard time finding that awe and respect for Jimbo. I mean, I get he's a good coach. I get that. But the things I've heard about him, practices, otherwise, how really FSU's team got, academically run right in the ground. His last year, I mean, they were almost not eligible academically.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's not Saban. That's not one of Saban's teams.
Think back now, and I listen. I'm gonna tell you what, Texas A&M has to be one of the best jobs in college football, especially now. The amount of money they have. You see their fans. You see the size of that stadium, the money they have, facilities. That is an elite job. That is one of the best jobs in college football. So if he does get it going, watch out. But we got Ethan comes in here and he says, hey, he better do something next couple of years. But let's go back. What I was getting at. He worked for Saban as offensive coordinator. Don't you think? And they said they used to butt heads. That's everybody knows
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, they butted heads. Do you think he held all that in all these years, whatever those negative feelings were towards Saban, and just kind of that came back and everything else now, and he just explodes and says things?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, but, I don't know. I kind of look at my own life and look at, okay, I work for some pretty tough individuals, and I've been in some really tough circumstances, been yelled at, those kind of things. Do I hold a grudge against them? Am I going to, talk about that in public, or did it make me a better person having to deal with it and learn to deal with adversity?
Yeah.
And be better. It made me better. And that's one of the ways you have to look at it. And I think, that's why it just doesn't look good on Jimbo to come out and say stuff like that. He could have said, you know what, Nick Saban's really hard to work for, and I wouldn't want to be his assistant coach with him again. But you know what? He taught me a work ethic, and I respect him for that. Something along those lines. Yeah, but it just shows you, the problem is it shows you Jimbo Fisher's character. And I think that's been in question a while, especially with
I'm looking forward to tomorrow when Ethan Boyd gets there. I'm going to ask him because he's a big guy. I said, how did you think, seriously, do you think he handled it the right way? I can't wait to see his input on that. But I think you're right. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have just made a joke out of it, just like Saban. You know, when they, it says Jimbo says, that A&M's going to kick y'all's tail. And he says in golf. That's how you handle it.
I remember that.
That's how you and then you laugh. Then you're cutting up with a coach later. When you see him on the field and you're laughing about, oh man, that was a good exchange. And just roll with it.
Yeah. Anyway, it's crazy. But, man, what about the commissioner of the SEC? Because you really and truly, you're not supposed to criticize, do anything in public. You don't want because it's going to hurt this thing. If it was the old days, and they did find that Saban did some wrong things, and they did find A&M did some wrong things. Then all of a sudden, two teams are on probation from your own conference, and what happens to the conference revenue?
Yeah.
When Alabama's not playing on the playoffs and making that big time money that everybody gets a part of, and A&M, all that money they make, it hurts the league. So he got on to both of them, and they've got that. What's the meeting next week in Destin? I think it's next week in Destin, Destin.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's going to address that again and make it clear to all the athletic directors and presidents, everybody else, we cannot be doing this in public.
Yeah.
And I guarantee I don't think we'll hear anything going forward.
Yeah.
But they got some big egos.
Yeah.
Media days used to be in Birmingham, now it'll be in Atlanta this summer. But October 8th, Alabama A&M. I already called up. I got my 2 tickets. I'm going to that game.
2 tickets?
Well, I can make it 4.
There you go.
I can make it 4.
Haven't even had time to invite you yet.
So you want 2? Hey, last time though,
he's got to ask me.
Listen,
Smitty,
last time we had all these plans and it didn't pan out. I'm like, what the heck? That's not true. I got over there late. We were in Birmingham. I think you were in Tuscaloosa before.
I stayed in Tuscaloosa. Yeah.
So where'd you go? Do you guys go any good restaurants over there?
I can't remember the name of the restaurant. That's been
Did
a
you go
couple
to
of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll ask you out there. I'm sure people care over there.
I forget which restaurant it was, but he's like, let's meet for lunch. Let's meet for lunch. I'm like, okay.
Well, no, we went to the Bryant Conference Center over there where the team stays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like watching the players walk through there. All right. Let's. What else we got today, Chad? I've got the each SEC's first loss during the regular season, and we'll do that. We have time to get into it.
Yeah. You got 4.
Okay. We can wait now. You sure?
Go now. Go later. It's your show.
Let's just.
You're driving.
Hey, we're gonna. Can you do it a little while? We're gonna go get a donut. And come back.
Get a donut.
Back about 15 minutes. Are you just? I was gonna ask you this. Are you disappointed? It's kind of over now. Local sports, baseball. We were second. We had a team that won a state championship last year. 2 runs away from winning one this year. Actually, 3 to 1 was the score. But Holmes County did win it, which is right up the road.
First time ever.
Awesome. Good for Holmes County.
And we got a lot of people in Holmes County listen to us, so we got to be happy for them.
Sure.
And I hate it for those great people at Bozeman. Coach Patton does such a wonderful job.
Yeah, but what a great run.
Yeah.
And what consistency.
Every year he's been there.
What a class act he was.
Absolutely.
I mean, he didn't say, well, they got lucky and they did this, they got lucky. He told it like it was. Yeah. It was like, we did our best and we, and they did. The game before that, they came back and won, and then it just didn't work out the second time, and he gave them their props, so to speak. And I thought that was very classy of him.
Let me ask you this. If you're a powerhouse baseball program right now, and I think there's one job open. If I'm a booster, because I tried to do it at Arnold. I tried to get Patton. Wouldn't you go and say, hey, Coach, I know you're the AD here, but you want to come coach at our school, we'll make it where you won't miss that money. You need to come and do what you're doing here and keep doing it right over here because we've been doing it here too. And this is, I'm talking about Mosley. What would be wrong with him going? Now I don't want the people at Bozeman mad. I'm just throwing that out there.
They're all up in arms right now.
Yeah, I'm not trying to
throw you in there too. Huh?
I'm just trying to throw it out there.
I do live in Southport. I think I'm on side with the Bozeman people.
Yeah, well, you got to throw it out there. He's only got a few more years to go before he gets his 30 in or whatever it is, and he could see if he can do it at a bigger school. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying I want it to happen at all. I'm just going, if you're looking for somebody to run that monster machine over there at Mosley, I think he'd do an unbelievable job. That's just me. Oh, you know what? Oh, you being quiet. You're doing the political correct thing.
Crickets. Crickets. Crickets.
All right. Let's get into some of our wonderful. I know you'll talk good about this. Rudy's Barbecue on Baton Beach Road.
Yeah,
the best barbecue, the best turkey sandwich you get anywhere. Go try it. You'll love it. Ethan Boyd will be here tomorrow. I tell you what, he's a big Aggie. They're huge over in Texas.
He's a fun Aggie, though.
I'm going to tell you, all the Aggies are. I love the Aggie fans.
Yep.
They're some of the best you'll meet. Gene Stallings played there.
Absolutely.
Bear Bryant coached there.
You can't not like the Aggies.
Aggies are unbelievable. Watch out in the future. They're going to be a powerhouse. But go try there. Go try it out. You'll absolutely love it. I'm telling you that right now. Chad, Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Baton Beach Road, $19.99. You can get it washed every day for a month. You can't beat that deal. So don't make the mistake going there buying a $15 car wash. Get the $19.99, get a car wash every single day. And your truck or one of your trucks and cars will look showroom ready when you leave. Newbies, 3 great locations. The Mothership, the best bands in the Southeast. I tell you what, John and Charlotte do an incredible job. They just got back in town. They had a night. I'll tell you off there about the little vacation they took. Charlotte looks gorgeous as usual. But Newbies 2 on the Curve. You can listen to Atlanta Braves here at 6, or you can go to Newbies, watch it there at Newbies 2 on TV. Play pool, have a great time. It's been remodeled. It's beautiful in there. And don't forget about skin cancer. Chad, you know how critical that is. It doesn't look right, feel right. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. I've had it. Make sure you go see Dr. Ward. All you old coaches, all you old athletes, you fishermen, you golfers, go get checked out. Don't play around with this stuff. It could be deadly. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Tune into the next Afternoon Underdogs to hear why Boston Tim thinks Jason Tatum is on his way to becoming a superstar. Dr. Tom will recap the NASCAR All-Star race and prep us for the Indy 500. And Tuesday, I'm talking baseball with 2 Bay County legends. We're live and local.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Sunday morning. I'm forecasting spotty showers and thunderstorms today and tonight. A mix of sun and clouds during the day, partly to mostly cloudy tonight. 85 for the high, low 70s for the low. South wind 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf is 80 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable medical insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
At Slim Chickens, craft means something. Craft means bacon. And oh, so crispy. Craft means a good cayenne kick. And all-natural buttermilk marinated, made fresh, perfectly fried chicken. All served on toasted brioche buns. At Slim Chickens, craft means quality. And for a limited time, try our new Memphis-style barbecue chicken sandwich. Try Slim's Craft Sandwiches today. Slim Chickens.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
Broadcasting live from the Redneck Riviera. It's the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do it, James. And again, talking about great movies. If you have not seen his movie, his life story is another American hero. That guy, what he went through is incredible. To overcome everything that happened in his life. Go watch them or rent the movie. It's on Netflix or one of them. You can say it, it'll come up. James Brown, unbelievable. Hey, Chad, real quick, I don't want to get too much into it, but this could affect college football, NFL. It could affect every sport out there. It can affect our country, and I think you're a member of it. The WHO, Chad Mitchell's
World Health Organization. Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm not a member of it. I guess.
Well, are you?
Yeah, I know.
What is this about now? What?
Hey, let's lock James Hale up. Let's quarantine him from the rest of the world.
That's what it's about. But seriously, we I heard a coach say, "Man, hell, we might not even have." What is this crap about?
You mean the monkeypox issue?
No, what
general?
they're trying to do. The WHO that our president's in agreement with them.
Well, it has a lot to do with the whole pandemic thing and about the world being, working together on the pandemics. And, this monkeypox thing has come out. And, who knows what it's going to do. It's like everything else. I mean, you got to kind of see what are the statistics. You're flying blind before you find out, what's going on with it.
Yeah.
You want to stop the spread. You want to try to prevent the spread. Trying not to get too political, but
Right.
it's kind of hard for me to believe that our president wants to stop the spread when he's got an open border.
Thank you.
I mean, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. If you really want to control the spread of some things, you secure your borders. You're still nice to people. You want people to come to the U.S. And, sometimes there's some medical care here that you can't get anywhere in the world, or you can get it maybe in some of the other first world countries, but I'm talking about third world countries coming here. So, you still want to have that spirit of, we're going to help people. We're going to help people in the world, but you got to protect your country too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this whole thing, in my opinion, I heard my I don't want to throw my wife under the bus here, but she was kind of making a comment last night, and it made sense. She was a former lobbyist for intellectual properties, and that kind of thing, and she kind of knows how that kind of stuff works. And she says, all this is the World Health Organization is throwing out this monkeypox thing and scaring everybody to raise more money.
For the yeah.
Now, ultimately, what we saw with the pandemics, with all the lockdowns and everything else, I mean, I think we saw in this country, it didn't work that well.
Right.
It worked okay. That's the best way to kind of say it. But I think what we did after that lockdown, we had masks, we had these things, and I'm not saying I'm for making people wear masks, but we got the vaccine. We did those things. Those are all the usual things that are done for these kind of pandemics. And in my opinion, that's what you need to go with. And people that are at risk, protect yourself, wear a mask, do the things you can do to help you. As far as forcing everybody else to do things, that kind of crosses a line.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
that's what it's about. Them,
right?
The World Organization.
I'll tell you. So if it's Ebola, which is highly deadly, very contagious. I can see kind of shutting the world down a little bit to try to overcome that, because, I mean, it is very, very deadly. A much higher percentage than COVID. COVID was 1%. I think flu is like 0.01%, something like that. I can't remember the statistics. Don't hold me to it. But, COVID's 10 times more deadly than the flu. You don't want anybody to die, but at the same time, as humanity, we've been dying through thousands, millions of years, from these pandemics. It's part of life. None of us are getting out of this life alive. I mean, it's.
I just don't like the idea of somebody
could
come in
and
tell us in the United States of America what to do from some other country. This is what you're going to do. That ain't going to happen.
And I get that.
That ain't going to happen.
Right. But the United Nations is part of that. And, you hear.
We're going to vote on it next week, right?
You hear all this talk about, uniting the world and the one world order and all that kind of stuff. I have never bought into that.
No. Here's the question, the big question. Will this affect October 8th, Texas A&M, Alabama. We want this game played, Doc. It's going to be played.
Listen, I guess it all depends on if you catch monkeypox or not.
Anyway, we'll talk more about this off there. First loss of the season. This is SEC schedule. First losses for every team. This is what these experts think. Alabama Crimson Tide, first loss. And actually, I was going to do this at 8, but I'll do it now. First loss, Alabama will lose at Ole Miss. You agree or disagree?
I disagree.
You don't think? All right. You think Bama goes undefeated, or who gets them?
Based on what I know right now, we haven't seen the start of the season. I haven't got to look at them, but based on what I know right now, from what I'm hearing, this is a team that is capable of going undefeated. That's the way I'll say it.
There you go.
Will they? That really depends on the psychology of the kids, right? I think
injuries.
And injuries. So it is a team that is capable of going undefeated. Do I anticipate them losing to Ole Miss to begin with? No. Now, Ole Miss has done really well in the portal. So, there's a lot of variables there, but in my opinion, no, they don't lose to Ole Miss.
Okay. Brian's with it. Hello, Brian.
Howdy.
What do you think? I mean, you and I kind of agree on, I think we still agree what I think is going to happen, but what do you think? This is 11-12 at Ole Miss. Alabama has lost there in the past.
It won't be that game. The highest likelihood, honestly, is that they go undefeated. The only game on the schedule really that scares me a lot is the game at Tennessee, because of where it is in the schedule, that it's in Knoxville, that's a huge rivalry game. They've won so much. The Ole Miss game is going to come after they've had the week off and a trip against LSU, and Alabama typically doesn't lose games in November, unless it's Auburn. Usually that loss.
Thank you for that.
A lot of truth there.
Thank you for that.
A&M, South Carolina, Ole Miss, those games they've lost in the past have been those middle of October games.
Yeah.
Right as they're worn down from the beginning. So
I
don't think so.
I agree with him.
I think it's going to be Tennessee if they lose.
I'm concerned about Tennessee as well. I'm also concerned about Texas A&M, but and Arkansas for that matter. It's going to be a tough schedule.
Arkansas is kind of scary, but Texas, like he pointed out, Tennessee. You go look. Tennessee could actually be undefeated when they play Bama. Mm-hmm. They could be. I'm not saying they will be. All right, let's go.
Heupel's a good coach.
Yeah, let's go to Georgia. They predict Georgia will be undefeated the entire season, and really, I kind of agree with them, guys. I don't know.
I do too.
Yeah.
Their schedule lines up perfect.
Yeah, lines up good for them.
All right, this is September 24th. Texas A&M Aggies, their first loss. I could see this happen, and I think the game is played in Dallas, correct? Isn't it that neutral
It was
site game?
last year. I'm not sure if it is this year or not.
Yeah, I think it is. If it's not, it's a home game for
right.
I'm pretty sure it's in Dallas. Arkansas. What do y'all guys think about this one?
Ooh, that's going to be
a
A&M
game. Lose?
Man, I'm going to watch that game best I can.
Again, A&M early season, it's who's going to be the quarterback.
That's right. I mean, they replaced
nobody
a lot of
got's
guys.
got any real experience except Max Johnson, and he had it at another school.
So that's a potential loss for A&M. Don't they play? They play LSU also because they're in the West, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the A&M LSU game.
You think
is
that's
where
the
them at the end of the season, though?
I know, but it's where I think A&M may
the first
may
loss.
lose.
Okay,
I just think you give Kelly good talent. Kelly is used to making it to playoffs with his Notre Dame teams. He's got some experience doing that. He's now got some talent in LSU. I think you watch out for him, and especially at the end of the season, I think they're going to be a whole lot better than the beginning of the season.
You know what? How much time? We got to stop right here. We're going to come back to this.
This is a good topic.
Yeah, I want to come back to this during the Auburn update. Okay, we'll finish up in the Auburn update. We got Alabama update coming up. We got FSU coming up a little bit later. We also want to have time. We have enough time. We got to get into SEC. I'm going to be gone Wednesday. Won't be back until Tuesday. We have a national show this Friday. We're going to have one Monday. I'm going to go and try to watch some of these games, but the schedule doesn't set up favorably for me because the games I want to see are not going to be playing. Those teams might not make it. But anyway, let's talk about some of our great sponsors. Got so many of them. Appreciate it. And, Brian, you go to a lot of our different sponsors like J. Michaels. You've been all these different places. Food's Incredible, all these people. We appreciate all of them. But do you want to look better? Do you want to feel better? Do you want to be like Dr. Ward or Dr. Mitchell? Those guys are some healthy, good-looking, highly intelligent.
Did he just call me fat?
No, I called you extremely healthy. Go to Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look that way? You can try it before you buy it. I tell you what, Jason actually will deliver it. He brought some stuff in here Friday for Tommy and I, and I went down yesterday and paid him. His mother was there. But go try it. You can some Pier Park Max Fit Sports Nutrition, Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, the best pizza, the best deli, and the best dessert you'll get anywhere. I'm telling you, the Glen Manley Napoleon is unbelievable. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. We'll be right back. Dr. Chad Mitchell, Brian's with us. We got Bama coming up. We got Auburn. We got FSU. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your attention, please. ESPN Northwest Florida reminds you it's the law. It's the law. When there's a double red flag, stay out of the water, stick your toes in the sand, grab a cold drink, and listen to live sports.
Swung on, miss, strike three.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Double play!
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601, 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Dr. Chad Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine and joint replacement of the knee, shoulder, and hip. He serves our local athletes and our community. Southern Orthopedic Specialist has been the leader in orthopedic care for over 20 years. New patients are welcome. Call 850-769-KNEE to schedule an appointment. More about Dr. Mitchell and Southern Orthopedic Specialist is available on their website, southernorthopedic.com. Southern Orthopedic, getting you back in the game.
Atlanta Braves play here. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of being overcharged each month for health insurance? Or finding out you still have significant copays or deductibles out of pocket when you go to the doctor? Call KHS & Associates. Their independent insurance agency has helped individuals, families, and even small business employees lower their health insurance costs while improving coverage with no copays, no 80/20 co-insurance, and no deductibles unless hospitalized overnight. Call KHS & Associates, 502-386-1128.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide. Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. I tell you all the time, baby, get it serviced about every 6 months, and the heat is already here. The humidity's bad today. Stevenson Air Conditioning, you don't have any problem with that whatsoever. They do a wonderful job. If it breaks down there in the middle of the night, call them up. They'll get there quickly, solve all the problems. I tell you all the time, you got to owe one, get rid of it. I'm telling you, get rid of it. This will pay for itself. The money you save in your electricity bill, and nobody does a better job than Stevenson Air Conditioning. Really appreciate Jason and that crew down there. All right, Chad, the Alabama Update. Former Alabama running back Bo Scarborough, it was on TV the other night too, had a really big night for the Birmingham Stallions. He had 16 carries for 105 yards, averaged 6.6 yards per carry, had a 28-yard touchdown run, 2 passes for 15 yards. Stallions still undefeated. They beat the Michigan Panthers 33-17. Remember the injury he got?
Yeah.
Early in his career.
Yeah.
And overcame it.
Right.
He was a 5-star coming out of high school. Everybody in the country wanted him. Big, physical kid. I think if he'd never got that knee blown out.
Right. I think he'd have been a different player for sure.
He still was good.
He still was good, but you could tell it was kind of like, is it Mosley? Am I thinking of that right? That had the injury as well. and they just didn't seem to be quite the same coming back.
It was one of the linebackers.
It just takes a while to recover from any kind of knee surgery, and some seem to do it really well. Some seem to take a little bit longer, but I would say on average it takes you about 2 years. I mean, even when you look, I think back to RG3 in the pros, when he had his ACL, it took him about 2 years to really try to get back where he was. I mean, like he had lost his step the first year.
Well, we know we had 2 Bama running backs got hurt last year and has surgery. They say they're doing really well. But, Chad, you just answered my question, 2 years. But if it wasn't completely just torn up, if it was cartilage and ligaments not as bad, can they come back and play at the same level? Or
So, they're back at the same level within the year. It's just they're not at their level necessarily, or where they would have been if they hadn't been injured.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of think about some of these players. They're constantly improving on their 40 times, right? When you're in college, they're constantly improving on their strength. They're adding weight. They're doing all those kind of things. And, if you have an injury that kind of short circuits that program, it delays you a little bit.
Well, and some of that's mental too, right?
It is.
How
There's
willing
a
are
lot
they to go cut the same way and everything?
Yeah, a lot of psychological impact on that as well.
Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. How are y'all this morning? This is Rob.
Rob, what are you doing, big boy?
Hey, I just heard y'all talk about the Birmingham team, and I was wondering, can they not, since NIL is in now, could they not get a high school kid to come over and kick for them on Saturday night?
And there's probably a kicker that's not in the NFL that they could pick up.
Because what did I see him miss? 2 extra points.
Yeah.
But anyway, and the other thing was, so before we get out of here, I did want to ask Doc Mitchell, do you have any idea, or have you ever heard of an injury like the kids from Holmes County's got, to where he had a blood clot in his arm, and they took a rib out because that's what was causing and we can go back to the Birmingham thing and answer that later.
Okay, well, I'm on infer from what you said that sounds like he probably had sort of a thoracic outlet syndrome type problem. That's usually where you've got maybe an extra rib that's pushing on a vessel, and he got a blood clot as a result.
Okay, so that's what it was. It was the rib pushing on an artery or something.
Yeah.
Because they didn't really go into it, but they said, and I had never heard, when they came back, they kind of, when they were getting on the bus and picked him up, and they said that, that it was, he had a blood clot, which is terrible. I mean, that's very serious situation. But, the news reporters and stuff just said, oh, well, they took his rib out. It's like, what? Well, are we not going to go a little more depth?
The rib was probably impinging on the vessel, and, that's a tough problem. Those are very, very rare. They do happen where you just get a blood clot in your arm and the artery, and it's cutting the blood flow off. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So. All right. I just like I said, it when they said that he removed his rib, I didn't know. Well, that's and like I said, it's a serious problem. Any time you get a blood clot, that it's a serious situation because it can get you. But
and I don't know. I don't know the whole story. I mean, I guess it could have been a venous blood clot or an arterial. I don't know the details.
Yeah, it was
a venous.
Yeah. Did you see the looks that you got when that question was asked?
I knew I was going to go into a serious conversation. That's why I did the thing about the kicker from. But I just didn't know if it's something up there in the water or whatever that, because Alabama's been hunting for one. Maybe if they can get a high school kid, then maybe Alabama can get him and sign him later on.
Yeah. Whatever it takes, baby.
Y'all have a good day.
All right, buddy. Thank you. All right. Anyway, baseball. Bama baseball. It is what it is. Alabama finished 12-17, 29-25 overall, Chad. He's making a lot of money. They got all the facilities up there.
It could be worse.
22-11, 7-14 on the road, 22-11 at home. Alabama, let's see. They lost Arkansas Thursday 7-3, and then they beat Arkansas on Friday 8-6, and then Saturday they beat Arkansas 18-5. And Arkansas's got a good little ball club. Now, but Brian, let's be realistic about this. If you know you're getting ready to go into the SEC tournament playoffs, did you think Arkansas pulled back some of their players, some of their pitchers, didn't have their best ones out there, or did Bama just all of a sudden get really good?
They could have, but it'd be more likely that Arkansas would pull back in the conference tournament than in a SEC weekend series, because that conference tournament's going to be closer to regional play. So I doubt it was that. Could just be that Alabama just
got hot,
played well,
and got into their bullpen.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could have been that, but I highly doubt it. I do think it's more likely. I mean, Tennessee doesn't even need to play in this conference tournament. In fact, they'd probably be better off if they didn't. So it's one of those things.
Here
but at least they're in the conference tournament, and unlike some teams that won't be named, Mississippi State, that I'm still bitter about.
Let me see. I thought I had this stuff written down. They got this. Oh, here it is. Wednesday. Yep, let me go back. I screwed up again. TV listing for Tuesday, game 1 is number 6, Georgia versus number 11. This is where I guess they rank them in the tournament. The game will start at 9:30 Tuesday morning, SEC Network. The second game will follow right after on the SEC Network, which is the 7th seed Florida Gators versus number 10 South Carolina. The game 3, 8th seed Vandy versus 9 Ole Miss Tuesday. Again, the afternoon game 4:30. Then that night game, the Auburn Tigers, the 5th seed versus number 12 Kentucky. And I'll talk more about Auburn and Kentucky a little bit later. Let's go back to Bama, Georgia. What do you think? Who wins this game? Do I get to see Bama play on Wednesday, or am I going to drive up there and not see him at all?
Georgia was playing better early in the season, then kind of hit a lull, and then picked it up again a little bit toward the end. Bama coming out of a series win against Arkansas is good for them. I hate a 9:30 start. I mean, Eastern Central's not that much different, but 10:30 in the morning a lot better than 9:30 in the morning in terms of your body clock. So I don't know how that goes, but I don't know enough about Georgia to say per se. It's just going to depend I would assume Alabama's going to throw the guy they threw in game 1 of their weekend series, and he's had enough time to rest, but they're not used to going, let's say, Thursday, Tuesday, or Friday, Tuesday. So how that will be impacted, I don't know. I'd probably give the edge to Alabama just because they're coming off a hot big series win, but
I hope so. I hope you're right. What do you think, Chad? Georgia's 15-15 in the SEC, 35-20 overall. On the road, they're 10-9. This is more or less a home game for Alabama, you would think.
I hope Alabama wins it. That's how I see it. Have I watched them? No. Yeah. Have I watched Georgia? No. So I really have no other reference point other than just the win-loss.
Alabama needs it more, that's for sure. So
game 1. I was trying to think. Now, if Alabama was to win that game, they will play Arkansas Wednesday. Another 9:30 game.
Yeah.
Heck, I don't even know if I get there by then. 9:30 game. So we'll see. Anyway, we got to go. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Alabama Update has been brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. They do an incredible job. We get back. We're going to jump back into this Auburn Update. We're going to get back into the first losses, SEC teams, see what all you guys out there think about that. These are from the article I read. I think it was 24/7. No, it was Saturdays Down South. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Stevenson Air Conditioning, appreciate the Alabama Update. If you have any kind of problems, call Debbie, make an appointment. She'll take care of you quickly, believe me. They do a great job at Stevenson Air Conditioning. J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. The best seafood, the coldest beer every single day, and every Wednesday, that world-famous J. Michael's spaghetti. Don't forget about American Charlie. The place is incredible. Brand new facility. Go try it out. It's in Montego Bay, where Montego Bay used to be, an Edgewater Shopping Center. Every Friday, I tell you what, the catfish I had there was incredible. Have you had that yet, Brian?
I have not. It's not on the diet, so I'm going to have to pick once a month or something to do it.
Yeah, Tommy's the same way, but I'm telling you, it's outstanding. Chad can eat it anytime he wants. Go get it. Also, don't forget about Chuck Tucker. Chuck Tucker, man, that guy's a stud. Number one at everything he does, but he does a great job with South Oak Title and Closing. No surprises. Chuck Tucker. Demand Chuck is your money. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your radio home for live and local sports coverage. For the most high school and college sports from right here in our local area, it's the Coach James Hale Show, weekday mornings 7 till 9. Then the ride home is alive and kicking with the afternoon underdogs, covering the gamut of sports. Plus, the radio home for the defending world champion Atlanta Braves. Your local sports station is ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Sunday morning. I'm forecasting spotty showers and thunderstorms today and tonight. A mix of sun and clouds during the day, partly to mostly cloudy tonight. 85 for the high, low 70s for the low. South wind 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf is 80 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir. Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game?
Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won.
It's still the first quarter.
I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
War Eagle. That's what?
Weagle.
War damn Eagle. Auburn Updates brought to you by Bay Point Golf. You love golf. Go down and call. Hey, I tell you what, Chad, make a lot of money for your organization, your booster club, Bay Point Golf. But you're going to have to call Ron now and make an appointment for way out because he is packed down. But that's the best way to raise a lot of money in a short period of time. You can have Ethan Boyd from Rudy's Barbecue to cater it. They're doing a great job there. But the golf course at Bay Point is incredible. And we're so grateful to have Ryan back. He does such a wonderful job down there. And we appreciate them sponsoring the Auburn Update. Auburn, now let's get back into what the expert thinks is going to happen. They have Auburn's first loss will be September 17th versus Penn State. What do you guys think about that?
I certainly could. I mean, Auburn's got a lot of questions to answer, and Penn State beat them last year. Penn State should have a good ball club this year as well. Now, it's at Auburn, so that will help, theoretically. After what went on this year, who knows? But, if I were going to say the most likely first loss, I think Penn State's a good bet, even though I think they've got a good shot at winning that game. So,
I do too. Yeah. I think they're going to pull that one out. They should have beat them last year.
Yes, they should.
New
absolutely,
quarterback.
Auburn should have beat them last year. I don't know this year. I think that the probability's high that could be their first loss for sure.
And I don't know what all Penn State has coming back, to be honest with you. Do you know if that running back's back?
I think so. I think most of their skill players are back. I think they lost some on defense. I have to double check. I could be wrong on that, but.
Well, I certainly hope Auburn gets them.
Sure.
I do too. I hope Auburn wins. I mean, that's who I'll be rooting for.
I don't know if that would be the CBS 2:30 kickoff or a night game. If it's not 2:30 on CBS, it'll definitely be a night game. That's a big game right there. All right, let's get back to some of the other teams in the SEC. When will their first loss come? Did I go over LSU yet?
No, we stopped at A&M.
LSU at Auburn. Okay, good. That fits in good. At Auburn, 10-1. October 1st at Auburn, LSU's first loss. What do you think?
I don't have schedule in front of me. I think the Florida game is after that, so that very well could be. Personally, and we've talked about this, I think LSU's first loss is going to be Florida State.
Yeah.
I really do. I think Florida
sure.
State's catching them in a perfect situation.
New coaching staff, a lot. I mean, everything's new.
But for an SEC loss, yeah, I could see that because LSU struggles.
Yeah, and this is what
at
this
Auburn.
is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, actually, it's not.
No,
That's
yeah.
any school.
I think it's going to be
Any
Florida
school.
State.
Okay. What do you think?
If it's not Florida State, it's going to be Tennessee. I think LSU's going to. I think LSU's got better talent than Auburn. I hate it because I like Auburn better than I like LSU. No offense, LSU fans, but I think if it's not FSU, it's the first one's going to be Tennessee, and that is October 8th.
Yeah.
Well, we will see, guys. I went ahead and bit the bullet. I got 2 tickets to the FSU LSU game in New Orleans, and I tell you what, now anybody in here in Northwest Florida, if you're going to the game, you better call now and get hotels. You can get they're actually not that bad. As you wait, the price is going to go up. You can always cancel. We're going to stay at the Marriott on Canal Street, which usually one of the teams stay there. But I'm looking forward to watching that football game. And I think Florida State needs to win that game. That coach really needs to win that football game. All right, Florida Gators. Who will they lose to and when? First game Florida will lose, 9-10 at home versus Kentucky. What do you guys think?
It's either going to be that one or the Utah one the week before because I don't think they're going to win both.
Say it one more time.
Well, the Utah game the week before, it's also at home. Those are 2 really tough opponents against a new coach. Richardson hasn't been the guy. There's too many questions for Florida for me that they're going to win both of those. So I think because Utah's coming east, let's say they get Utah and then they'll lose to Kentucky, I can buy that.
I get where Brian's coming from. I'd pick them to lose to Utah first game.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I like Coach Napier. I think he's going to build Florida back. I think that's a tough first game in doing it.
he starts the season 0-2 with that schedule. Look out.
Right.
Or excuse me, 2-0 with that schedule.
Now, here's what I will say. Florida's going to have a defense at least to, come out against Utah.
Yeah.
But Utah they can put it to you quickly if you're not careful.
I tell you what, I really hope that game is like 11 o'clock and it's the hottest day we've had, and I think that will help Florida.
It'll help Florida, It'd be the real swamp.
Yeah.
Ole Miss Rebels, when will they lose their first game? September, October 29th at Texas A&M. And I don't have their schedule in front of me, so it's kind of hard.
There's too many changes at Ole Miss for them to make it all the way to the last weekend in October without a loss. So I don't have who's on the schedule in front of that, but safe to say I think they'll lose at least once before then because totally new quarterback, totally new running back, totally new receivers, defensive coordinator gone, offensive coordinator's gone. You just can't do all of that and then get to the end of October without a loss in the SEC.
All right, Chad.
Now say it again. It was
Ole Miss
first loss.
Yeah, 10-29 at Texas A&M. And again, I don't have a way to pull up all the schedule of the SEC. There's a list out there. I just don't have it.
So I've got the schedule here in front of me. They play Troy, and I don't know what this other team is. Georgia Tech, Tulsa, Kentucky, Vandy, Auburn, LSU. And you're saying the first loss is A&M the next week.
There's no way they're going to take Kentucky, Auburn, and LSU.
I don't.
To me,
I don't know. I think Jimbo Fisher's going to be looking past Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to sneak up and get him.
So you don't. Okay.
I think Ole Miss's first loss is going to be Alabama, 11-12.
Wow.
Okay.
That's what I think. I think you're going to see Lane Kiffin run it And, Auburn's in that part, too. Auburn beat them last year. So, when you get into mid-October, it's Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M, Alabama. Now, imagine being Ole Miss trying to survive that part of the schedule. And then Arkansas's after that and Mississippi State. So, I just think I think Lane Kiffin's capable of beating A&M.
He's good.
And I think Jimbo Fisher will be looking past him.
As a former player at Southern Mississippi and playing Ole Miss, I hope A&M's not their first loss. I hope it's early in the year.
Oh, I hope their first loss is in their inter-squad game. You know me, I always want them to lose.
Tennessee's first loss, 9-24, home versus the Florida Gators. They lose a home game to Florida?
I don't remember Tennessee's early schedule. I don't remember it being that tough. I think it gets bad in October.
Yeah, they could be undefeated when they play Bama.
I mean, it could be. I mean, maybe that big rivalry kicks back off now. I don't know. Maybe both of them are back on the upswing again. Certainly possible. I'd be a little surprised if they lost that one at home. But
what do you think, Chad?
I think Tennessee's first loss is going to be Alabama. Now, at LSU's the week before, and it's at LSU, so it's going to be a really tough crowd. And if Kelly's got LSU up like he's capable of doing, their first loss might be LSU.
Yeah.
Florida's before that. It's hard to see Florida beating them.
Well, it's interesting. Based on this list, they have LSU's first loss later, so they have LSU beating Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I don't know.
Let's go to Missouri. They got Missouri losing outside the SEC for their first loss.
Yeah.
September 10th at Kansas State.
It's a tough place to go play.
Yeah.
And Kansas State's got a good coach. They got a scrappy team.
And they got
that wouldn't surprise me, and I'm not real sold on Missouri.
So for Bama fans, their first game is Louisiana Tech. That's a
no. Bama's got Utah State.
No. For Missouri.
Oh,
Missouri's first game. And I said it for Bama fans because years past. If you've been a Bama fan a long time, man, you don't know what you're gonna get sometimes playing Louisiana.
Oh,
hey, I went to Mississippi State. I saw us lose to Louisiana Tech multiple times,
and that's
not
what I'm
just
getting
once.
at. So Missouri better have their act together first game because Louisiana Tech.
I'm glad you brought up Mississippi
multiple
State.
times.
Mississippi State, September 17th at LSU.
Look, it isn't a hard bet to say Mississippi State's going to lose to LSU. That's a team that we can't beat even when we're better than them. That's why it wasn't just that they were national champs the year that Leach beat them. It was the fact that State can never beat LSU. So, yeah, I think that's probably right.
When was that game being played that year? Wasn't it at LSU?
It was at LSU, yeah.
We were in
first game of the year.
We were in Biloxi watching that one. I couldn't believe that.
Thank you, Bo Pelini.
Let's see. Arkansas's first loss will be the Alabama Crimson Tide, and that game is played at Arkansas.
So they're predicting
that
that Arkansas is going to beat Texas A&M the week before, which I give the Razorbacks a little edge there. Just knowing how they've done with the portal, the talent they've got on that team, that coach.
Tough at home too.
I know, and everybody kind of looks past them. And I think they're going to be really tough. So, to say, well, Bama's going to be their first loss, that means they beat Texas A&M the week before.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense. I mean, the A&M Arkansas game will be physical as well, and they'll be beat up. And even though Bama's coming to Fayetteville, yeah, you come out of a big physical game like A&M, and then you got to play Alabama the next week. Sure, I could see
at
that.
A&M.
And look, I think A&M's going to lose at least 3 games this year. So I think this is about right.
I think Arkansas and A&M play in Dallas. They do about every year.
That's
so do you agree Arkansas is going to beat Alabama?
No, I think that's going to be
Alabama's
Arkansas's
going to beat
first
Arkansas.
loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. South Carolina, September 10th at Arkansas. Here we go, Arkansas again.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina, Arkansas. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. South Carolina, I think, is going to. I think they've been a little overinflated off the way they finished last year. I think they're going to struggle.
Do we even have to mention this one?
Vandy, whoever their first game is, will be there.
No, that's not true.
I'm saying
not
that's
true.
true.
Yeah,
Who they got first? Southern Mississippi.
I gotta find. Do they have Southern
No,
Mississippi?
no. I think they win week 1. I saw it earlier.
Just like I said earlier, Vandy's going to lose the inter-squad game.
Take me a minute
Now,
to pull them up.
they got them on September 10th, losing to Wake Forest. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wake Forest has had a pretty good team
Yeah.
here in the last few years, so that'd be their third game of the season. They have Alabama not long after that.
Yeah.
Vandy's got Vandy.
So here's Vandy's schedule. It's Hawaii.
That's a loss.
What is Elon? E-L-O-N. That's short for something.
Doesn't matter. Still a loss.
Right. Wake Forest.
Loss.
NIU.
Loss. I don't know.
Then Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Missouri, South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, and end with Tennessee.
Okay.
I think
That's a tough schedule,
I actually
man,
think they
at the end of
will
the
lose
season.
to Hawaii, but they'll beat Elon and NIU.
I hope they don't. I hope they beat Hawaii. Does Hawaii come to them, or they got to go there?
It looks like it's at Hawaii, so it's like a
That's
bowl game.
Definitely a loss.
Hey, come get an NIL deal, and we'll take you to Hawaii week 1. Let's talk to some of our great people. Dr. Chad, man, thank you, Bay Point Golf, for everything you do down there, Ryan. Chad, what's the best way to get up with you?
Call Southern Orthopedic Specialists at 850-785-4344, or you can look me up at www.chadmitchellmd.com.
You want the best barbecue anywhere. We got them now. It's here in Bay County. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. They're incredible, brand new facilities, gorgeous in there. Go try it. I know you love that barbecue, but please, before one day, just try it. You'll love it. Either the turkey plate or the turkey sandwich. I love that turkey sandwich. The best thing I ever had. Ethan Boyd does a great job down. Rudy's Tooties on Back Beach Road. Rudy's Barbecue. You will love it. I'm telling you that right now. And don't forget, we appreciate Bay Point Golf for the Auburn update. We're out 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We get back. We're going to FSU. Brian's got them for us. We'll be right back.
I don't need a whole lot of money. I don't need a big fine car.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Braves Country.
A rainmaker ties the game. All right, it's Braves Trivia, your chance to win a gift card to Slim Chickens. What Atlanta pitcher got his first career MLB win last week in a game versus the Brewers?
And a swing and a miss.
If you think you know it, open the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app and click Braves Trivia.
Let your adventures begin in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by today and discover why everyone is talking about the award-winning Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR up to 48 months on a new purchase of the 2022 Kia Forte, K5, Soul, or Sorento. Bill Bird Kia is not only the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, they're also the home of the best customer experience anywhere. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. We make buying a car easy, and you'll enjoy the way we do business.
Offer from KMF for purchase of a new 2022 Forte, K5, Soul, or Sorento with $21.65 per month per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 5/31/22.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
Shocking news in the world of heavy metal. One of the hardest bands on the planet is about to release a children's record. Songs slated to appear on the album include A Tisket a Tasket, Hey Diddle Diddle, and The Hokey Pokey. Let's listen to a sneak preview. Here's Ring Around the Rosie performed by the one and only...
Please deposit 25 cents for the next 3 minutes.
Radio. You shouldn't have to pay for it. This message brought to you by 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels studio.
Boss, I got good news and bad news. What's the bad news? Your hat's on fire.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Our FSU updates brought to you by Newbies. John Sharp do such a wonderful job down there. You have a great time. Get down to any three of the Newbies restaurants. You have a great time. All right, Brian, what do you got for us today on FSU?
Well, spring sports in full effect. Unfortunately, it was not a very good weekend for FSU in a couple of sports. Let's start with softball. Number 2 national seed. Yeah, won like 54 games during the regular season this year, whatever like that. Out at the regional level. It's the first time that they have not gotten past the regional level since 2012, and the first time they lost a home regional series. Yeah, in softball. First time they lost a home regional series since 2009. Now, they entered Sunday, FSU. All they needed to do was win one game to advance super regional. Mississippi State got them twice, who finished 11th in the SEC this year, but still a good team. Mississippi State beat them 5-0 early, forced a championship game, and State ended up winning that game 4-3 to move on. Now, FSU jumped out early. They were up 2-0 in the first. They were up 3-1 after the second inning, and then got to the fifth. Pitcher got in a little bit of trouble. They brought in a reliever, and Mississippi State jumped out, took the lead on them, and held on for the one-run win. Mississippi State's going to host a super regional for the first time ever, as they're hosting Arizona, who knocked out Missouri in their super regional. So both of the regional hosts that would have been in the super regional were upset. In fact, the SEC actually had a bad weekend.
Alabama got beat.
Yeah, they entered with, I think, like 9 teams in the top 25, and only 3 of them are moving on to the super regional level.
Wow. I can't believe it.
So, it was amazing, and it just, I mean, I talked to the coaches. It was just like, we were all set up and ready to go. It just wasn't our weekend. So FSU is out despite being the number 2 national seed.
I was looking forward to watching them in Oklahoma again.
Well, with all the disappointment over softball, surely baseball would pick up the slack. Nope. Folks, Bill Allen's on suicide watch again, because after a midweek loss to the Gators that Dr. Ward told us all about last week, they made the trip to Chapel Hill and got swept by North Carolina. It is the first time FSU's been swept on the road since 2015. And now FSU, after hopes of getting a first-round bye in the ACC tournament, maybe, being in the top 4 seeds, FSU's a 9 seed in the ACC tournament. Now, they're going to play. They do pool play for the ACC tournament in Charlotte. They don't leave teams like Mississippi State at home like the SEC does. But they will play 5th seed Virginia Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then they will play 4th seed Notre Dame Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And FSU will need to win both to advance onto the semifinal rounds. So, doesn't look good after losing 4 in a row, but maybe hopefully they've gotten it out of their system. But FSU finished the regular season 32-22, again, losing their last 4 games in a row. Now, the country club sports, if you will, tennis. Men's tennis, Loris Peroy will play today at 11:30 a.m. to open the NCAA Men's Singles Tennis Championship. They're playing that up in Champaign, Illinois, University of Illinois. He's ranked 51st in the country. He's going to face off against the 11th seed. That's Hamish Stewart from Georgia. Now, they played about a month ago in the NCAA team kind of regional level, and Stewart won that match. But Peroy has a chance to move on there. Now, on the women's side, Petra Hale and Anna Arcadianu is what I'm going with. They're going to play in doubles on Tuesday against a group from Pepperdine University. And then Petra Huel also plays Monday. She played today in singles against Kylie Collins from the University of Texas. Huel is the number 3 ranked singles player in the NCAA tournament. She's 21-1 this spring. So she's one of the hottest players in the country going in and has a good shot at a national championship there. And then we talked a little bit about golf last week. The women's are actually in the NCAA championship now. Now, they're in 6th place after the 3rd round. They do 4 rounds of stroke play. and there's eliminations on the way down. So you needed to be in the top 15 through 3 rounds to move on to the 4th round. Well, FSU was in 6, so they're moving on to the 4th round. If they finish in the top 8 overall in this 4th round, they will move on to the championship match play events. So good job, FSU's women. Wallen and Heath are actually tied for 20th in the individual pairings there. And then men's golf did qualify for the NCAA championship. They ended up 2nd in their regional to Vanderbilt, so they move on now to the NCAA championship. The women are playing now. The men will be there. They're both at in Scottsdale, Arizona. I think it's at Grayhawk course out there. But sophomore Brett Roberts for FSU won the individual title at the regional, which is his first win, and I think it's FSU's first individual regional champion since, I want to say 2011. So congratulations to him. So the golfers really getting it done, a couple of tennis players getting it done, but it was not a good weekend on the diamond for the Seminoles.
It still blows my mind about softball.
And it was really out of nowhere. I mean, FSU was exactly where they needed to be and playing well. Mississippi State jumped on them really good.
I didn't think
first
Mississippi State
game.
was that great this year.
They were 11th in the SEC. Not incredible, but a good team. I mean, anything in the SEC.
So where does Mississippi State go now?
They actually get to host their super regional because they're a higher seed than Arizona was. Now, if Missouri had won theirs, it would have gone to Missouri. But Mississippi State will host their first softball regional. So coming into this year, Mississippi State is defending national champions in baseball, ranked 3rd in the country. They don't even make it into the SEC baseball tournament, but the women are going to host a super regional in softball.
That's crazy.
That's how it goes.
Crazy.
But, yeah.
I want to ask both of you this, and think about it before you answer. FSU, when they opened up that season, I forgot the year now, but everybody built it up, the greatest opening weekend in college football, Florida State, Alabama, and Atlanta. Went to the game. You couldn't move. There were so many people there. FSU, Alabama people everywhere. Now,
my favorite groups of people.
Great, and really two good fan bases.
First and second teams.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah,
good people.
Love them.
And it was like a 1 versus 3 or something.
It was,
matchup.
It was a lot of national press. It was a good game. The quarterback got hurt from Florida State, and then Bama pulled away. But we had a great time in Atlanta. Everybody got along. It was really good. All right, now let's switch gears this year. FSU in New Orleans, the Superdome. Is it still called the Superdome?
Yes.
Okay. In New Orleans, week 1, Sunday night, nobody else is playing, kind of like last year when they played Notre Dame. Do you think LSU is more or less a home game? But do you think FSU travels? Do you think it's going to be a lot of – do they sell all their tickets out that they have? Or do you think – what I'm getting at, will it be exciting like the Alabama-FSU game? Or do you think a lot of people are going to we're not going?
Do you know FSU fans? They want to go to New Orleans.
Well, you asked 2 questions there. Will they sell out there a lot? Yes, because it's New Orleans, because like you've always said, there's a lot of great access, a lot of places to stay around there. It's fun. It's not that hard to get to. People could drive, all of that. Yeah. Is it as exciting or does it mean as much? It might mean more to FSU's program.
Right.
But no, it's not a 1 versus 3 matchup. I think that game in Atlanta, wasn't that the first game ever in that brand new stadium in Atlanta?
Yes,
the
it
FSU.
was. Yes,
So
it was.
I don't know. It certainly won't have as much national hype. It might mean more to FSU's program. This is
going to mean more to
huge.
FSU's program.
This really determines whether we've changed paths or whether we're stuck.
We were there in Atlanta with our Alabama stuff on and saw so many people what we knew from Bay County.
Right.
With their FSU stuff on.
Right.
So we had a great time.
Absolutely.
Cutting up.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping you're both right. I was just thinking, too, the gas price, the price of the hotel rooms and stuff are crazy. So I'm hoping a lot of Bay County people go to that
listen,
game.
You're on the air. Tell these FSU fans, go to that game. Support
Well, they
your
better,
team.
I did. I said a little while ago.
Let's get a win in the
better
not
get
in the
your
Bayou,
room.
in the Superdome.
You better get your rooms quickly because they're going to go up the closer you get to the game. So you want to order. You can always cancel. And matter of fact, your condo over there, is it anybody in it that weekend?
The one in the Superdome?
Yeah, the one out, the French Quarter. That you ever seen his place in the French Quarter? Oh my goodness, gorgeous.
Hey,
can I have the keys?
no. You
Listen,
know what?
You got to wear a pair of boots and take a shovel with you to get there.
Here's the other. Don't be surprised. A lot of people don't stay in Biloxi and Gulfport because not that far, and you got all those casino rooms. That happens a lot when you have football games in New Orleans. So
we actually thought about
some
that
people might do that.
Yeah. But
of course, it's Labor Day weekend.
A lot of people that gamble like get those free runs, but if you don't, they're expensive.
You got to gamble a lot to get a free room over the weekend going into Labor Day. But yeah.
Yeah.
But there will be a lot of people who do that.
All right, let's talk about something. Hey, we want to thank all you great people for listening today. Don't forget about Blue Sky Express Car Wash and Newbies for the FSU update. Tell you what, John Sharp do such a wonderful job. Newbies, too, is the place to go now to watch all sporting events. It's been remodeled. It's beautiful in there. Go try it. You'll absolutely love it. Hey, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, please do not put it off. Go get checked. Call Dr. Ward. If you're listening right now in Northwest Florida, there's an office near you. Go see him. He'll take care of you. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovalevsky does an incredible job. Don't forget about Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, 3 restaurants in one. The pizza's incredible. The bakery, the deli, unbelievable. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Jeremy, what's going on, buddy?
Give my 2 cents about the Jimbo and Nick Saban situation. I went down to College Station. What I'm going to do is I'm going to poison that mascot Rebels food. And he ain't going to die soon, but he's going to die. That's all I got to say about that.
So we've got a new Harvey Updike.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Sunday morning. I'm forecasting spotty showers and thunderstorms today and tonight. A mix of sun and clouds during the day, partly to mostly cloudy tonight. 85 for the high, low 70s for the low. South wind 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf is 80 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable medical insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right, he has over 30 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within 2 business days, so don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into new settings and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 45 years.
Have you been to Jinjin Super King Buffet? It's not your average Jinjin. Well, here's what you're missing. Jinjin Super King Buffet has competitive pricing, a great selection, extensive buffet options perfect for family dining. Menu options also include top quality seafood, hibachi and sushi bar, or select their mouth-watering crab legs by order. Bring the family out to Jinjin Super King Buffet, located next to Wonderworks at 9802 Front Beach Road on Panama City Beach.
We don't know what his problem is,
Quit moaning, we're all hurting.
but it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
That don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I want to thank Dr. Phil Cobb for that nice phone call. He thought we were on the air and we were off, and so hopefully he'll call back. If not, we'll see him today. But I tell you what, he loves the new restaurant at Edgewater Shopping Center. He loves that catfish, American Charlie's. Go try it out. First responders discount every single day. The food's incredible. The atmosphere is unbelievable. True American place. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Great place. The newest and best Mexican restaurant on Panama City Beach, right across from the Navy base. All right, Doc, what do you got for us right now?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the transfer portal, and there's been some articles out there that kind of organize some of these teams to kind of give you an idea who lost the most value and who won the most value from the transfer portal. Now, just like Brian and I were talking off the air, there's recruiting. You can have a top recruiting class, but if you add players from the transfer portal too, boy, yeah, that's how to do it. So anyway, we'll start off with some of the teams that lost the most value. Now, this is from the transfer portal. You've got the Virginia Cavaliers. You got the Oklahoma State Cowboys. You've got the Oklahoma Sooners. And then teams like West Virginia and Auburn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We all know Auburn has taken it on the chin.
A lot of those lost starting quarterbacks,
exactly.
too, if you look at it.
Yeah.
When you said Auburn, it reminded me of the phone call Phil Cobb made just off between breaks there. All he wanted to call was cut down Bama. He's a big Auburn guy. He said Nick Saban is the biggest cheater ever. That's exactly what he said. So I hope you're feeling good about yourself, Phil. That was a mean statement. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I live with an Auburn Tiger.
Yeah. You know what it's like. I love Auburn.
I do
love
too.
Auburn.
I absolutely do. I go to Auburn games. I love them. I root for them. I like FSU. I mean, I rooted for LSU that season that they went undefeated. Now, not against Alabama, but I liked watching them. I just like good college football, good people, good coaches, that kind of thing. But anyway, getting back to the most value that was obtained out of the portal, and this can all be argued. USC really increased their talent when they got Jordan Addison recently. And they were already doing extremely well, so they're one of those teams.
They get like 12 really good football players transferred in.
12. I don't remember the exact number, but
they're basically
they're
all
quality.
Yeah, they were all like all-star players.
Yeah, right. It's just quality players. UCLA's also done well. They've been kind of silent, so to speak, but they've done well in the transfer portal. Then you've got teams like Ole Miss. When you give Lane Kiffin talent, watch out. Yeah. LSU. So I think the fact that Kelly's going to his going to LSU really helped that prospect. And then you've got Alabama. And I'm an Alabama fan. I'm biased, but Nick Saban's done really well with his transfer portal and with recruiting. And I'm impressed. Of course, I was a Bama fan through the 90s when we couldn't win a game, it seemed. But, to see what Nick Saban's done with the transfer portal and all that, he's doing well. And, this just ties right into the whole controversy between
Can I
him
ask
and
you
Jimbo
a question
Fisher.
about that? Do you think that Nick backed off Addison? Do you think they really went after him really hard? Or with they brought in two receivers. Georgia's best receiver. Louisville's best receiver. They're probably one of the fastest guys in the country. You think he pulled back from that, or you think, no, they just didn't get him?
I don't know. I don't have any inside information on that. He did practice some with Bryce Young. Who knows what was being said, there. Not that I'm sure, I'm sure Bryce Young wanted to be throwing to him in the fall. But Alabama's so loaded at receiver. And then, you're trying to make a name for yourself. Now, the one thing that is favorable, when we had those, 4 great receivers back in 2000, somebody's always open.
Yeah.
Somebody's open. So the other guys actually help you in your career going forward.
Right.
So that's one of the things you
And
can
there was
think
no
about.
jealousy between those guys?
No, those guys. But, again, those guys didn't transfer in and work with each other. They've been working with each other through the years,
They all
right?
came in together. Well, Waddle was 1 year younger, but the other 3 came in together. Yeah.
You think they kind of backed off? You think
No,
this didn't work?
I'll be honest. I would not be surprised if the entire extent of all the news stories about Addison to Alabama was just that people saw him working out with Bryce Young. And I'm sure Bryce Young probably said, hey, man, it'd be cool if you came here. But I have a feeling that was the extent of it. I don't know that there was any real pursuit or anything like that. I think people saw that and went, maybe there's something here.
Well, to add to the controversy a little bit, how much money did USC pay?
Oh, I'm going to tell you what. USC's got as much money as anybody in college football, and they're flexing it right now. They're getting people in there.
And
it's legal.
The
There's nothing wrong with it.
Well, the laws in California are a lot more lenient towards that than other states. In other words, they pretty much promote. In fact, they were one of the first states to really promote it. Yeah. It's when all the dominoes started falling.
I'm interested to see Addison. We talked a little off the air, but I'm interested to see how he played because, look, he's a good player. But he also had the best throwing quarterback in the country throwing to him last year.
Right.
And Caleb Williams is a good quarterback. He's not what I consider a great passer.
Yeah.
Yet. So it's going to be interesting to see if, you don't have that top quality guy, pinpointing you, throwing to you. Will you perform as well?
I got some breaking news here. This is from Dr. Philip Cobb. Las Vegas has Jimbo 100 to 1 odds to whip Saban's, and he said a bad word.
Yeah. I was going to say clean up that text, but yeah.
Whip Saban's butt. But he didn't say butt. He used another word.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Well, Saban's 70 years old, and Jimbo's, 52, 56, something like that.
Can Jimbo fight with them glasses hanging off his nose there? I don't know.
Well, did they rank him like the combination of recruits and transfer, who was number one?
Yeah, but they didn't really rank them. They ranked them before the Addison transfer to USC. Yeah. So you have to kind of read it in there. Yeah. I think most people believe that Alabama has made the best out of the portal.
Both of them.
Yeah, adding to the talent they have. Yes. Definitely Ole Miss, LSU. And then the Trojans are somewhere in there. It's probably Alabama, USC. Yeah. If I had to make them 1 and 2.
If you just count nothing but
that's my
transfers,
impression. I know you start looking at that talent. To me, it's Alabama and USC that made the best out of the portal.
Absolutely, Alabama probably added a couple better players per se.
USC made a whole team.
USC's improvement level.
Yeah,
exactly. Because you're replacing what.
They got a running back from
You're replacing
Oregon.
Brian Robinson with Jahmyr Gibbs. That's not a huge upgrade if it is. The USC guys were giant upgrades.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But Jahmyr Gibbs was the best running back in the portal.
Listen, I've watched
Eli Ricks, best defensive back in the portal.
That kid from
I've
Georgia
watched
Tech can
tape.
play.
I watched his highlights from the last 2 years, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. He's good.
Let me tell you, he's got features like Najee Harris in some ways. And then in some ways, he kind of reminds me of Eddie Lacy. Now, he doesn't spin like Eddie Lacy.
He's fast,
but
though.
he's just fast and he's big.
Mm-hmm.
He's got, I say big. He's probably not as big as Eddie Lacy, but he's strong. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I'm just, I expect some big things. I'm hearing that he practiced before the national championship game and all that, and our defense couldn't stop him.
No.
I'm hearing really good things about it.
Well, I'm going to tell you this now. Southern Cal, it's like Lincoln Riley going to Publix and have a list of what he needs.
And just
he
buying it.
He got them. Everything he needed, every position, he got them.
But even Shane Lee that he got from Alabama, Shane Lee couldn't get on the field at Alabama, but he's an upgrade over the linebacker he's replacing at USC.
And in that league, you wait, they're coming back big time.
Now, is he? It's always a question mark for me with Lincoln Riley. I mean, he's like 1 and 3 in playoff games, or bowl games, however you want to look at it. And really doesn't have a defense year to year. Now that's been Oklahoma in a way, but still, is he going to have a defense at USC? If you don't have a defense, it doesn't matter if you make it to the playoffs or not. You're going to get whipped. The teams that are going to be in there, they're going to have a good defense. Yeah.
Well, I think his path to getting there is pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think they can get there, but to win the national championship, he's got to take it to a different level.
Yeah,
but the thing about it, he's getting it done. I got to give the guy credit.
Yeah, he's getting it done as far as recruiting talent.
Chad, before we get out of here today, what's the best way to get up with you?
Call Southern Orthopedic Specialists at 850-785-4344. You can also look me up at www.chadmitchellmd.com.
Hey, and what days are you scheduled just to operate when you're just in operating?
I'm usually operating Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays, okay. So in your office the rest of the week.
Yeah.
And you're out.
And on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, if it's something you need to get in and you think it's pretty quick, I got PAs that are there.
Now you're out next Monday, right? Okay. We're off.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holiday. Yeah. All right, Brian, you got Wednesday.
I got you.
All right, buddy. Hey, afternoon show. They'll have it rocking and rolling. Big Dave, the Underdogs have a great show. Fine Bomb 6 to 10. Yeah, Atlanta Braves. Who they got today?
Phillies, right?
Phillies, yeah. All right, we're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Wasn't bad.
I knew that I would not. I feel good. I knew that I would not. So good, so good. I got you. Wow, I feel nice. A sugar and spice.
Hey, Braves fans. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win weekly prizes from Slim Chicken, Rudy's Barbecue, That Boot Store, Guthrie's, and Rib Crib with Atlanta Braves Trivia. Step 1, open the ESPN Northwest Florida app and click Braves Trivia. Step 2, answer trivia about a recent game. Step 3, score some tasty prizes and come home a hero. The Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Listen live on 104.3 in the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Are you tired of being overcharged each month for health insurance? Or finding out you still have significant copays or deductibles out of pocket when you go to the doctor? Call KHS & Associates. Their independent insurance agency has helped individuals, families, and even small business employees lower their health insurance costs while improving coverage with no copays, no 80/20 co-insurance, and no deductibles unless hospitalized overnight. Call KHS & Associates, 502-386-1128.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee.